Ow. You know, I'm ready now. Let's go. Let's do it.
Let's see if Carter can break his drought.
Let's rip the band-aid off. What's going on, guys? It's me, Nathaniel, back with some more spicy chicken sandwich. Here with me, I've got my two guests. What are your names?
I'm not a fucking guest. I'm on here every single time. Hi, I'm Carter.
I agree, but I agree less fervently. My name is Aidan. How you doing?
Today is going to be a pretty by-the-numbers episode. Nothing too crazy about this one, because I feel like the ones we plan out too much generally don't turn out.
You were scripting this for so long.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you took 30 minutes to be in your room to plan this out.
It's gonna be very loose and freeform. Nothing is wrong with this one. You know, let's ease into it first. Let's try to get the fire started. What's been going on?
You know, speaking of fire started, the chimney man cleaned our chimney recently, so...
it's time for Carter's boring as shit house update.
Yeah, house update. We've been having a ton of inspections recently. Chimney man came over, cleaned our chimney. Now I've been getting that fucking fire going inside the sunrooms. But for some reason, I don't know how to start a fire properly, so it takes me like 3 hours to figure it out.
I spent all morning trying to start a fire and I couldn't do it. Just for fun.
We've been making a lot of tier lists lately because we're whores.
Still on that.
We have to rank everything in our fucking lives. It's a weird compulsion, but it's fun. So I've been trying to listen to more albums. We ranked all the restaurants we've been to. Speaking of, we did just get back from one. It was a Mediterranean place.
Yeah, I liked it a lot more than they did.
The other day I listened to The Getaway, the Red Hot Chili Peppers album. A lot of good songs on there. I feel like they could have reordered it, but it's just like, it's a good album.
I can't take you seriously right now with that.
Yeah, okay. Nate is currently wearing a bat hat.
Like one of those propeller hats, but it's just a bat hat instead. I can't treat you the same way. I gotta be like, you know, good job, man. Like, I have to treat you like a 10-year-old child.
It's got wings that are bent every which way and googly eyes that are not even with one another.
I was hoping that this wouldn't be a big deal. I'm just trying to make a fashion statement.
As you shake your head and the wings go.
The shadows are dancing on the walls quite wildly.
I don't see why there's anything wrong with that, but I guess here we are.
There's nothing wrong with it. You're not going to get away without that being mentioned, is all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
I was trying to play it cool, but I guess these things tend to bite you in the ass.
I'm sure it has no lore relevance.
Yep.
Speaking of lore relevance.
Oh, no.
Guess which sad fuck had to sit through the FNAF movie?
That's right.
Nate and I were watching a lot of horror films, funsies. Man, yeah, a lot of horror films aren't good, not the least of which is, FNAF. I had fun because I'm a whore for this shit, but objectively, it's like an awful fucking movie. It's not scary, not much of anything to it. 4 out of 10.
At least it came out, though. It's cool that it exists, even if it sucks. I haven't seen it myself.
And apparently it made a lot of fucking money.
It did make a lot of money.
I imagine they'll be doing more of those then.
Yeah, almost assuredly. I could make this a chicken nugget, or I could just make it a new segment, because it's probably going to wind up being a segment.
Is it long?
Shouldn't be. It's time for Aidan's Radiohead update.
Oh, no.
I'm listening to more Radiohead. Yeah, The Bends is maybe my new favorite album of theirs. Like, alt-rock, grungy. Man, Fake Plastic Trees just makes you want to fucking kill yourself. That is a rough song. It's a really good album, all the way through. It's a good time.
Okay, computer's next in my queue, which I think I might have said last time.
Yeah, you did, actually.
Maybe by next episode I'll have an opinion on it.
You know...
Well, speaking of Tom York, I have been playing you...
Wait! It's time for it to cues!
Oh, what did we fucking do this time?
I will leave them nameless, but they know who they are. Somebody has alerted me through the comments in the episode Forgotten Memories. I did not censor Poop Fartus's maiden name.
Oh, yes.
Indeed, I went back and listened to the episode, and sure enough, I threw in the Poop Fartus sound effect, but I forgot to take the actual name it was censoring out afterwards. So I went back and fixed that, and I feel really bad about it. I do what I can, but apparently it's not enough, and I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Fucking getting choked up just thinking of it, sorry.
Fortunately, only 2 people found his address.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay, but...
Send our prayers to...
Fuck, it's like... you have a responsibility in this position, I should have been there.
Speaking of response...
To cues! There's a second one.
What the fuck? Can you, like... Alright, what is it?
This one is another editing mistake that I did, apparently. This person, who is nameless, alerted me that on that same video, Forgotten Memories, the thumbnail was wrong. Now, if you know the structuring of the YouTube thumbnails, it's the title, name of the podcast, and then episode number. The episode number was wrong. I had it listed as 24, it is 25. I went back and fixed it.
Oh, you heathen.
I know. I don't know what I was smoking.
I think Aidan lost this episode already.
I'm such a fuck up.
I'm sorry for your loss.
God, I can't believe we're sitting at the same table right now.
You see so many controversies like on YouTube and whatever, but you never think it's going to be you, and then it happens, and then it's like, what do you even do with yourself? Because there are people you owe things to, and you don't deliver, and people get hurt, and it's like, do your thing. I need a minute.
Speaking of hurt, my forehead is bursting. I've been wearing a hat of mystery this entire time.
Oh shit, it is lore relevant.
Oh shit.
Welcome to the first ever Nathaniel's Hat of Mystery segment. Play that jingle.
Nathaniel's Hat of Mystery.
Here we go, motherfuckers. I've been playing you two, and it's about time that I showed my hand.
Okay.
Here we go.
Whoa! Is that Vsauce?
Here. 6 cutouts indicative of what we will be doing today.
Bunch of pieces of artwork. There are 2 green ones, 2 blue ones, and 2 red ones. It looks like a Nathaniel pizza, a donut. We have a raccoon, and this is either Vsauce or TearofGrace.
I thought it was Walter White.
It could be Walter White. And then what appears to be a French bulldog and a penis with a crown or experiencing some sort of surprise.
Boys, welcome to Nate's Picturesque Potpourri.
I'm interested.
This is Mad Gap Stories and Trivia 2.
Oh, okay.
The 3 of us generally agree that that's one of the better episodes.
Yeah, it's pretty much the best one.
It's been a long time since it, so why the fuck don't we just do basically the same thing again? It should be fun.
All right.
What I want you to do with these cutouts, I want you to try to relate a story to any of this imagery. Try to use these as prompts.
I think I know what some of them are getting at, but there are some that don't allude to anything.
I tried to get at specific things, but whatever it makes you think of. Try to exercise your creative brain.
Okay.
I eagerly await.
You know, Carter, since you're the underdog here, I'll take first crack.
Oh, what the hell? Okay. So, you want me to relate all of them, or do you want me to just pick a picture?
Just pick one, I think.
Yeah, just pick one.
Pick one. All right. God, I don't know who the fuck that man is, so I'm not gonna pick him. That's a seductive bulldog right there. I mean, yeah, I'll make a story out of that. So, Nate walks into the bar one morning.
Let me stop you. I don't want you to make a story.
Yeah.
You don't want me to make a story? I was trying to make up a story with all these 6.
I want you to tell us about something that happened relating to these.
Oh, okay, got it.
Alrighty, this is not working out.
I totally forgot about that podcast episode and what it was about, so,
You gave it an A.
I gave it an No, it was a good one. I'll talk about the French bulldog story. My uncle has a bulldog. His name is Margot. Her name is Margot, whatever.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Or a French bulldog noise where it goes like... And for some reason, Aidan doesn't find it funny. Nate finds it to be the funniest thing. Laughing our asses off, I believe, in the middle of the night. And we were just like, fuck. Bulldogs and their grilled semen and shit, because we were all...
There is context for that, but it's
so convoluted that I cannot explain it.
I feel like I'm reading every other page of a book right now.
We were talking about grilled semen, we laughed about it, and then we kind of combined that with the French bulldog thing. On GroupMe, Nate and I kept on making memes. Nate, 5 years without grilled semen, and then it's just him as a bulldog.
So the crux of this was that I came up with the concept of grilled semen. Carr was like, ew, shut the fuck up. And I just grilling a liquid was the funniest thing to me, because you can't do that.
Actually, you can grill semen. It's like a delicacy in some certain parts.
Well, that's cod semen though, because fish semen is a bit more goopy.
Yeah.
The idea is that when you eat grilled semen, your voice gets deeper. So then if you the longer you go...
Oh, yeah, that's it.
The longer you go without consuming semen,
the more you become the...
Right after I eat grilled semen, I'm like, hey, it's me, Nathaniel. And then 3 days, hi, I'm Nathaniel. 1 week, it's me, Nathaniel. 2 weeks...
Yeah, this was winter break while I was in a different state. And so I came back to this, and boy, was I confused.
It's just... Like, there's a through line, but it's a meme that's held together with...
Popsicle sticks and glue.
Yeah, it barely makes sense.
Yeah, it's just fucking funny because of the noise. It's just...
I was laughing so hard at that at first, like my lungs almost snapped from the pressure. Just like the idea of grilling a liquid and then turning into a fucking dog.
Nate, we're getting some grilled semen.
All right, great.
Is that all?
Yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much the crux
fucking
of...
hope so.
All right, let's go in.
This is Tear of Grace, right?
That is TearofGrace.
Yeah, okay. So, I don't know exactly how deep this one goes, because it's kind of lost all except the punchline at this point, but TearofGrace is a YouTuber. He made a lot of Isaac content back in the day. I guess he still does, but I really liked his videos. I thought they were very funny, and he did an ad read a forever ago, which has stuck with me as being one of the single best jokes I've ever heard. He's making fun of his audience, right? Because he's a British guy. He yells and screams at a lot of stuff and goes insane. That's the whole bit. You know, he's very vulgar, very crass. His edits are extremely explicit, and so the ad read's joke is basically that people will laugh at anything, his fan base, because we're all fucking degenerates. So he literally just stares at the camera in front of a green screen, and he just goes...
he just laughed.
He just goes, penile secretion. And then streamers and explosions and crowd applauding in the background of the video. And that's always stuck with me as being like, I really am a degenerate. So I brought this up to these guys. And we've been searching for the clip tirelessly ever since. We still haven't found it. I don't know where it is. But the penile secretion joke really landed with these two. So we just started saying penile secretion instead of like cum or jizz or nut. And eventually, we just started referring to TearofGrace as a character within our canon. And he eventually just became the penile secretion guy.
That's what we know him for.
I thought this was going to branch out into another story.
We're getting there.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That was later.
That is later.
But if ever we're talking about famous YouTubers, of course, TearofGrace, otherwise known as the penile secretion guy, comes to mind, obviously. What just happened now is a good indication of it, where before we were laughing like idiots, and now we talk about it as if it's like some sort of formal case studying for a business.
Yeah.
Like all the humor is drained out, and now it's just like his calling card.
Because there have been a couple times where TearofGrace has just come up naturally.
Right.
And it's always like, so TearofGrace, the penile secretion guy.
For those of you who are uninformed, the penile secretion guy.
Just so we're on the same page.
But this joke came to a head, and I'll have to find the image for this. But Carter, like a year ago, was thinking about trying something new with his look. He was kind of, he grew the beard at the beginning of college experience. That went pretty well, and he thought, you know what? Let's try something else a little wacky. And so he shaved his head. And so he was just the bald man with a beard.
My excuse was that it was October, so I was supporting breast cancer, but I also wanted to look good while doing it, so...
What?
You were supporting breast cancer awareness.
Is October Breast Cancer Awareness Month?
Yeah.
Well, whichever the case, he shaved his head, and man, the glasses, the beard, the baldness, he just became TearofGrace. And so we started referring to Carter as the penile secretion guy, and he did not like that.
Well, yeah, I just remember, so when you walk into the apartment, there's a mirror on the right. I was just staring in the mirror. I turn to Nate, I think he's playing games or something. I'm like, hey, Nate, how would I look if I shave my head? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to envision that because I haven't seen you with short hair before.
Remember, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to shave my head.
Just on the day?
Yeah, just on the day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I got my razor from upstairs, went back downstairs, and I just... and he just looks at me, he's like, oh no.
not your strongest look, if I'm being honest.
I'm just like, okay, can you just trim the back?
And you had invited me over, earlier in the day, presumably before this even began, where you decided your hair was gonna not exist. When I walk in your guys' front door, I'm just greeted by a pile of hair right by the door. And I'm like, am I about to get jigsawed? Is there somebody torturing these guys? And then I walk in, and Carter's holding a razor, and he's like, hey! I didn't want to say anything mean because that's a big jump, but I'm like, man, that is not what you should look like.
I thought it looked good for like a couple of weeks, and then I got like to the buzz, and I was like, oh, this does not look good.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was an interesting change of pace. Definitely not as good of a change as the beard.
Yeah.
But it was like, there was something hilarious about it. There's an excellent image, like tying this back into Tear of Grace, where Carter's just on the couch playing something.
And I'm holding my phone with a picture of him. They're like identical.
You're like, Nate, look, get a photo of this. It's the same fucking guy. And Carter's not looking at the camera. He wanted nothing to do with it.
The exact same position as Grace in the picture. So funny.
Yeah. I will say, bald heads work great with hats, so...
Yeah, it probably felt great.
It felt wonderful. It was really good.
Yeah, and there was also a whole thing where, Carter, you would not let Nate rub your head with oil.
Oh, yeah, no. The hell no.
It's good for you. It's good for both of us, really. The fuzz, it felt so good. Like, especially right after getting a haircut, just like touching the back of my neck, like, Even when I was in like middle school, people would just walk by and touch my head. They'd like pet me like a goat.
Don't know if I like that.
It was weird, but it was like okay.
Okay.
That's about all there is to that.
Yeah, I think so.
That nice little trip down memory lane.
All right, Carter.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I only know these two.
I actually know all of them.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, is it game time?
Is it game time?
We've got something to do.
What?
What?
What the hell?
It's like a fucking tornado siren. Welcome back to Mad Gab.
Oh, Jesus.
Every good sequel has to tie back to the previous one somehow, so you guys know how Mad Gab works. For those who don't, I say a bunch of words that don't,
He says a bunch of words that don't make a sentence, but if you really squint, you can kind of hear a phrase that does make sense in the syllables.
Ready, boys?
No.
Kit, outer, bias.
Kiss my ass.
Wrong.
Say it again?
Kit, outer, bias.
Can't outback.
No.
Kit our bias.
Outer.
Kit outer bias. That's so short. There's nothing to latch onto there. Kit outer. Catutor.
When I was conceptualizing this, I could not pinpoint whether this was the softball or not between the two that I have ready for today.
God damn.
Kit outer bias.
Kit outer bias.
Kitau. Kitau? Kitouter. Kitouter.
Yeah!
Kit outer. Kit outer. Kit outer. Kit outer. Kitouter. Kitouter.
Carter. I don't know.
No.
No, not Carter.
Kit outer.
Kit Carter. Get out there.
I did nothing.
Yeah, nothing's
Those
hitting
syllables don't make a thing.
Have we said one of the words?
Yes. Think about how you can mispronounce the words, like realistically.
Kitu.
Kit?
Kitutur.
Kit, you can mispronounce as cat, so I'm going to go with that. Or can't.
Or kite.
Or kite.
Kitao.
Can't. What's the phrase again? I forgot. I was saying
What's the last word?
Bias.
Bias. Turbias. Tobias. Kit outer bias.
Kit our bias.
Kit tear. Ooter. Outer. Kituter.
Bias.
Bias. Bias. Bias. Bias. Yas.
Bias.
Yas.
Bias.
Nothing's coming to me. By ass?
By ass? By my ass?
Do you two think that you'll be wanting a hint at any point?
Yes.
Nothing's
a hint.
happening.
I don't know.
Alright, the last word is ass.
Kiss my ass.
No.
Kitouter ass. Kitouter be ass.
Can't tear ass?
No.
It's not permission to tear ass. That doesn't make any sense. Kitouter. Did you find this online? Did you make it up?
I made it.
Okay, so it's not a phrase that I've heard before necessarily.
Ah, shit.
It's a phrase you've said for sure.
Have I said before?
You both have definitely
Oh,
said.
get out of my ass.
Yep,
There
that's
you
it.
go.
Get out her by ass.
What the fuck?
Good job, Aiden.
The B was fucking me there.
You guys say it like you have a cold. Get out to my ass.
Get out of my ass.
Yeah.
Good job.
Cool.
All right, I'll take it.
You get nothing in particular.
All right.
Cool, that was a good 10 minutes of that. The raccoon is not my story. I don't think I could explain the penis that well.
Yeah, that I want that one.
Yeah, you can have that one.
You can have the flat donut.
No, I don't want to have that one.
I don't want it. I don't even know that. I wasn't there for that.
It's a crappy story, so I don't want to say it. So I guess I'm going with the pizza.
All right.
So during freshman and sophomore years, we used to be at the dorm. We go to the food court and we eat together, and it's really cool, and we laugh and we make a ton of jokes and whatever. One of these jokes is that took a picture of Nate, him looking disappointingly at the pizza.
You just add a piece of pizza.
Well, here's the deal. The pizza here sucks ass. It's
Yeah.
either soggy or it's really burnt. There is no in between.
Because of COVID,
They were so understaffed and there was no good materials coming in.
yeah, we came into college right as COVID was ramping up.
Yeah.
So the pizza was dog shit. And it wasn't anyone's fault. They just didn't have the resources. But
Yeah.
God.
The quality's gone up since, but...
It has, yeah.
And they had their moments. Sometimes the pizza was excellent. It was a complete toss-up for
Yeah, as soon
each
as I
given
stopped
day.
working there, yeah, the pizza just went up and all the food went up. It's like I was there to ruin everything.
I remember you once actually handed me a slice because you were working there at the time, and I was like, man, this is like one of the worst slices I've ever gotten from this fucking place.
Thanks, man. Yeah. We take pictures of each other, we make memes and shit, and one of them is just him looking down at the pizza with like the biggest sad face that you have ever seen. He's just like... And for some
it's
reason...
not even like open set. It's like his eyes are shut and he's staring off at nothing.
Yeah, I think I'm actually smiling, but it's like an empty one.
Yeah.
Yep. This is what life is.
This is what I'm paying for.
And,
Yep.
and for some reason, Nate got ticked off by this.
Yeah.
He hated this so much, and especially for me, I believe Aidan caught on. I kept on doing it. I kept on sending the same exact fucking picture.
Yeah. This picture was sent so much.
I couldn't count how many times, but yeah, just anytime that Nate's rambling or he makes a bad joke, I just sent that picture, and he's like, fuck off,
He
Carter.
was getting angrier and angrier, and then I remember finally Carter was like,
All right, fine, I'll stop sending it.
and then later that night, my brain got a cooking. And I'm sure you can figure out what happened next, much to the dismay of this one.
Just, oh man.
But that's not where the story ends.
It is not.
Because what happened next is I love fucking with images. Like, GroupMe is great for distorting images and making them look like shit. And one thing you can do with it is you can really size down an image. You can compress it to nothing. And so I started taking this image and running it through itself, and it looked worse and worse and worse time I did it. Except, for some reason...
Oh, hang on. That's actually with a different photo.
Is it?
Yeah, there was a second pizza photo.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the second pizza photo.
Okay, well, some pizza photo, a random red splotch appeared in the top left of the image. Nobody knows where it came from. Like, somebody mentioned it, and I'm like, oh yeah, where'd that come from? And then I looked back, and it's in, like, the last 3 iterations of this thing. Like, there's just a random red splotch in the middle of, like, blue paint on a wall. And it's like, where'd it come from?
Yeah, it was like you compressed it so much that it just tore a hole in itself.
Yeah. I thought this joke ran its course. We stopped using GroupMe at that point. But later, while we were buying this house... when we were buying this house, Carter was sending to the group chat images of like what we could look forward to when we bought the place. But they just sent a picture of like the sunroom. It's a big open space, bunch of great carpet, very washed out windows because it's bright out, whatever. And in the middle of the fucking carpet, for no fucking reason, there's that same goddamn red splotch. In a different corner, in a different building, in a different year, and it returns.
Yeah, and this image was a high-def image.
Yeah, this one wasn't compressed at all. A part of me was like, maybe I just accidentally used the crayon tool in my camera roll, and that's where the red blotch came from. I remember scrolling down through Discord while I was just like sitting in class or whatever, and I just saw it, and like the stab of fear. Oh, is this the Sixth Sense? Are we cursed? What's going on?
Yeah, it's Satan himself trying to send us a message subliminally.
It wasn't all in one moment, but over the course of a couple of days, like actual mental pandemonium. Is this place haunted?
The fact that it happened twice in two completely unrelated incidents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a different zip code, really.
It's like, it's probably harmless, but maybe we're not out of the thick of it yet.
Yeah, it might happen again, and if it does, we'll be sure to update you. There might be a red splotchy ghost that inhabits our cameras. It's like the Mitch Hedberg joke. Maybe Bigfoot is just really blurry.
Aiden, are you ready for story number 2?
Okay.
You gotta pick one.
The raccoon still eludes me.
How the hell do you not know what the raccoon is?
It's just not clicking. Oh, I got it.
Yeah, dumb. God damn it.
I got it.
That's your story. That is not my story.
I think you're stuck with the flat donut, man. Alright, I guess I'll do the raccoon since I just remember what it is. What was the impetus for it? I can take it from there.
I was the other creator of this joke, and I don't know where it came from myself, honestly.
It was at the lunch table, I know that.
Yeah.
And the other guys were just kind of chatting amongst themselves, and I couldn't find an end to the conversation. So Nate and I just kind of started talking and having our own little thing. Like, we can have fun too. We're hip. We're cool.
Uh-huh.
We're cool. And we were just trying to come up with a stupid character. I forget what happened, but we just decided, let's just try to take a phrase and then just put the space somewhere else. Kind of like, Penn Island Penis Land, right? Let's just try and make that a thing. And so we came up with this character, and eventually an entire family tree for Rako Onpinais. Which the astute among you may have realized is very similar to raccoon penis. It's one of those jokes where like it's not funny unless you're the one that comes up with it, and then it's like the only thing you care about for weeks. The voice became a thing, and I remember in the group chat we changed our names to Rako Onpinais.
I actually made a new account called Rako Onpinais.
That's right.
I had it join alongside all of us.
And I was like, fuck, I was gonna do that. And so I decided to change my name to Rako Tupinais. We had a bit of a back and forth of like, brother!
we were the only two people to ever find this
nobody
funny.
ever acknowledged it, let alone laughed at it.
We said it maybe 20 times at the table that first day.
Yeah, it was just laughing harder and harder at it.
Everyone's like, what the fuck are you two doing? Like, what happened?
I thought you guys had like fucking laughing gas through your nose.
And
Jesus Christ.
There's no better way to work it in, so I'll just say it now. This was well before the release of a game that ruined all of our lives, The Binding of Isaac Repentance. We decided just for funsies that like, hey, there's a lot of items in this game and there's also a lot of room to expand it. There's a big modding community and all that, so why don't we just try and come up with some stuff on our own? And it wasn't long before the items we came up with became very self-referential and very self-masturbatory, and this led to a Excel sheet that we spent, I would say, about 100 hours on. Collectively.
Yeah, a criminal amount of time.
We made ourselves characters, we gave ourselves lore-accurate items. We should just do an episode deconstructing that document. But it was an Isaac, they're secret characters, right? And so we were like, who would be a good secret character? And who better than Mr. Rocco? Because his unlock tree could be all of his extended family. The Tupinais, the mythic third penis. We don't talk about that one. He got his own sprite art. I'll find a picture of him.
I think if more than us two found it funny, like, it would not have lived
It wouldn't
on.
have been, yeah, it was us just propping up its lifeless corpse for actual, like, years. That's Rako Onpinais.
Maybe we'll have him as a guest someday.
Yeah, well, maybe we can get him on the horn. That'd be cool.
Oh shit, Aiden's gone. But we have a new cat.
Oh yes, hello.
Hello.
And then, like, every time he talks, it just plays like a Spanish guitar, like, dun, 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 dun. Like everything he says.
God, that would be the most annoying
That would be the most
podcast.
inane episode ever if we just had 3 of our characters, like, have an episode. There's so many gimmicks and in-jokes, and it's just unlistenable.
Every time we address him, hey, Racco. Yes? Can I ask you something? Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be like different one, or
Yeah,
else
it's gotta be the same 3 riffs in a sequence.
God, that would be.
There's so little to the character, he can be anything. He's like your straw man, he's perfect.
It's the best, worst joke ever.
Yeah.
Boys,
Hi, what's
Oh
up?
shit, is it time?
are you ready?
Sure.
No, we fucking took 10 minutes on the other one. Dude, I'm gonna kill it.
Mad Gab Part 2. Here is your phrase.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
Yearn alt Meyer, eel, Tad.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay. I'm horrible at those. I have no clue.
I think you won that episode.
Did I?
Aidan takes it. Good job. Once again, you don't get anything, but good job.
All right. Methinks I know how this is going to shake out at the end, but what do I know?
We've got 2 more props here. We got donut and penis.
It's weird because, like, the donut story happened while I was in a different state. And the penis story, we debate this all the time because we don't remember, like, the linchpin.
Oh, cool. Well, then I will talk about the donut, and I will talk about my perspective because your perspective was wrong.
I think it's going to shake out the same way regardless, but you go for
You
it.
don't have to tell that story if you don't want.
No, I want to tell it because the audience needs to know the truth.
Christ.
Back at the dining hall, yeah, Nate and I doing our own semester shenanigans, and we were talking about crepes. And what I said was, yeah, crepes are like a flat pancake. And for some reason, Nate was like, you fucking said flat donut. And I'm like, you're an idiot. Why the fuck would I say that?
Here's the thing. Even if you said flat pancake, that is still stupid.
How is that
A
stupid?
pancake is already flat.
Yeah.
No, it's a flatter pancake.
Hence the phrase flat as a pancake.
But it's flatter than a pancake.
crepe is-
That's not a thing.
It's a crepe.
It's arguably less flat because you fold it. Like
You fold
you're,
pancakes, the hell?
How do you eat pancakes?
You fold them up.
do you just like garf them with your hands?
Sometimes I have like only 5 minutes to eat breakfast. I eat it like a fucking taco. It's fine.
What
Have you
I-
guys never eaten a pancake like a taco?
What I
love
heard,
pancakes.
whatever, not important.
You're not important. Get out of here.
What I heard was flat donut, and you were the sleep deprived one.
Hey. I said flat pancake, and I had proof. I went into GroupMe, I scrolled through it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is where I said flat pancake. And I screenshotted it, and for some reason, nobody believed
No,
me.
because here's the thing. You said that in the group after the original discussion. You said, see, flat pancake.
And can you prove
to
that?
a picture of a crepe. Yes! You bringing that up had, like, no weight to it.
Fine, I'll talk about another story. Here's the deal. My favorite donut, it's called a Persian cinnamon roll. It's basically a very glazed cinnamon roll. It's technically a donut in a way. Like, it has like the same texture as a donut. You eat it and it tastes like a donut. It just has a ton of cinnamon in it.
It is donut adjacent, yes.
Nate and I debated over this for a while.
Yeah, no,
Because
like-
he's made it such a big deal that it's like, it's not a donut, it's a cinnamon roll. And I'm like, it tastes like a donut. Have you tried one? He's like, no, but it looks like a cinnamon roll.
because
It doesn't have a hole in the middle. I'm like,
And
"No."
there are donuts that are like baguette shaped too.
What about a long john? He's like, yeah, but circular donuts have a hole in it. I'm like, how about filled fucking one?
that was a dumb argument. I'm not going to defend myself on that. And like, I think once you brought up Long Johns, I was like, okay, yeah, he's probably right. But like, I'm in very deep at this point.
I can't be wrong.
Yeah.
I will concede now. I was wrong. I don't know what the general consensus on whether or not it's a donut is, but it's like, what does it fucking
It
matter?
was the same size as a donut. It was glazed like a donut. Like, it tasted like a donut.
I'm not going to apologize to you about the crepe thing. I will apologize to you about the cinnamon roll thing. I think I was a little bit aggressive on that one.
Yeah, solidly 1-1, I think.
I feel like I know what I heard, but at this point, I've probably deluded myself into thinking a lot of things that I don't actually remember.
Speaking of things deluding you regarding this fucking crepe thing,
Yeah.
I haven't expanded my taste palette much. I haven't had a lot of foods because, you know, Chipotle exists, so like, why do anything new? I wasn't familiar with crepes much, and so because my knowledge of crepes was so cursory, I couldn't follow the discussion because Carter genuinely made me question what a crepe was. The first I'd thought of them since like fucking birth was flat donuts. But I knew that was wrong.
Yeah.
And then the other donut thing happened, and that made my brain even more confused. It's one of those things where, like, I think about, do I know what a crepe is in good faith? Several times a week, but it's not one of those things that I, like, care about enough to Google it. It's just this nameless question that randomly taunts me often.
I remember all of us going to the International Food Fair and we did see crepes. And I was like, guys, look, a flat pancake. And Nate just gave me like the biggest death stare that he's ever given me.
We're never gonna flip sides on it. Like it's the biggest war of attrition.
Two sides of the same crepe.
Not.
Can I say that a crepe is like a thinner like quesadilla or tortilla shell?
That comparison I get behind more.
Okay.
So like French, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it's like a French quesadilla.
I don't. Yeah.
It's like a French.
Because how is it different from a quesadilla?
It's a little bit fluffier.
You know,
Is it like a pita as opposed to a tortilla?
You know, I'm actually gonna look this
Yeah,
up because
go ahead
I'm
and look it up.
interested.
You'd think we would have sat down and settled this debate at one point, but like seriously, it's just one of those that I don't give enough of a fuck about to settle on my own terms.
Mostly paired with dessert like foods like fruit and like ice cream and.
It's like a dessert tortilla.
Interesting. Okay. You know, I reminded myself of something that I kind of want to get into a little bit. Did I tell you that I'm on a podcast shit list?
No, what happened?
Late Night with Brian Wecht. In the infancy of that podcast, they asked online, like,
Ask us questions and we'll answer them on the podcast. It'll be fun.
and no one's gonna believe this, but I'd never heard of Reddit at the time. I'd never been on it. I'd
Okay.
never seen it, because I just heard it was this cesspool of ass, and so I kept my fucking distance. I didn't even know if it was a forum or anything. I thought it was a porn site, so I didn't mess with it. But Reddit's famous for being the progenitor of the is soup cereal debate, right? That's where that really came to a head.
Oh boy.
Not being familiar with this, I was like just walking around my house during COVID with nothing going on upstairs. And I was like, you know, that's a question I've never thought of before. I'll pose it. And
Oh shit!
so I asked it to them on Twitter, and then the episode came out, and they said, hey, if you're the guy that asked if soup is cereal, go fuck yourself. So if you want to hear Brian Wecht of my favorite band, Ninja Sex Party, call me a fuckhead, episode 10 of Late Night with Brian Wecht.
Oh, that.
Yeah, so...
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and it was like, oh god, man. It's like, it's during COVID, so you're already all sad. And then your podcast brings you up and tells you you're a fuckhead. But they're so nice to everyone that's not you. And it's like, fuck. I know it's my fault, but god damn it.
Yeah, imagine if you brought up his water wet to that. I wonder.
That is the most aimless debate.
It is so stupid.
The only one that's worse is a hot dog a sandwich.
Yeah, fuck that one, honestly.
And
There is actually like a diagram that like explains that.
yeah, there's a food theory about it, and apparently hot dogs are a sandwich in California, but so are pizzas because legislation.
It makes me want to shoot myself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put this out into the universe because every time I say it, hot dog sandwich, not sandwich people, everybody gets pissed off with my take. A hot dog is not a sandwich, but this is because a hamburger is also not a sandwich. A hamburger is a fucking burger, and I will die on this hill. If you disagree, go fucking go!
Speaking of fucking, we've got a dick story to tell.
Right.
It is your turn again.
And talk about
Oh
your dick.
boy! So we have a penis here.
I think I know what Nate's like
Is it-
direction was, but I'm not sure if you want to tell this.
We have dozens of other penis stories if you'd like to tell it.
I thought this was like the penis disc one where.
That was on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Nate, I'm gonna need help on this one because again, my memory on this one is pretty. I have a theory. I'm just gonna run with it, and you tell me if you think it's right or not.
Okay.
So during one of your darker semesters, right, you were having trouble like waking up on time, getting out of bed, and so we were sitting in our room playing video games or some shit. And we were just talking about like how do we help you with your sleep schedule because it was fucking you over worse and worse each day. And so we kind of tabled that discussion, talking about other stuff, and I mentioned how. For my major, he's a fucking idiot, okay? He's a goddamn idiot. He means well, but he's just not very intelligent. He was making a lot of changes, getting a lot of negative pushback. Turned the program for 20 people to 90 overnight, which fucked a lot of shit up. Expanding the program to accommodate more students, ended up fucking the coursework on the teachers. So all of a sudden the staff was cycling out super fast, and the classes were filling up for them to take their classes, so there were people getting like cucked out of classes they needed like to graduate, but it filled up already, so I'm fucked.
When you described that to me, I remember it sounded so bizarrely stupid and bad.
Yeah.
It was like you questioned whether or not you were going to be able to graduate under those circumstances.
Yes, it was like actually threatening my ability to finish school.
Yeah.
Amidst all of this, he also taught some classes. These classes were the most boring shit ever. He's good at his job, not a great educator, and not a great leader. We were taking a drawing class with him, in industrial design, you gotta sketch a lot, and like it was over Zoom, so I was like watching his feed of him sketching stuff, and I was taking notes on my own notepad. He would be like, all right, follow along, and then we'd be like, okay. And so I'd start sketching, and then I would look up up after copying down his first line, and he would have the whole thing fucking done. And it would be beautiful. Like, you could frame that shit. Like, he drew a beautiful fucking sports car in less than a minute. There was so much detail. He shaded the motherfucker. And I was just trying to get the first line right because, like, my hand twitches. I asked in the group, okay, listen, man, you keep losing me. Just take it slow this time. Show me how you do it. And he's like, okay. Stretch along and pay attention. I'll take it slow. And I go in for that first line again. I look up, just as beautiful. 20 seconds. It's a masterpiece. And he's like, was that clear? And I'm like, well, no, how'd you get to that point? And he's like, I drew it. Oh, yeah, oh, duh, fuck, there you go. That was my problem, is I wasn't holding a pencil.
Yeah, I drew it was a recurring phrase for a while.
Yeah,
because
I brought this up, and then we brought back Nate's sleeping thing, right? And so we were talking, and it became like, well, what if there was like something when you wake up, before you fall back asleep, something jolts you out of bed, like almost like a cold shower, but for in bed. And so we decided that there would be a Rube Goldberg-esque machine for when Nate parts his eyes, a series of mechanisms and doodads would go off, basically causing a severed penis suspended above his face overnight to drop on him unless he got out of bed quickly.
I think that is correct. This was the part of the story that we couldn't remember.
Yeah, I thought about it a lot since we talked about it last.
I think it did have something to do with Rube Goldberg. The severed penis may have come in later, but not much later.
Yeah, but basically, it's another one of those things like where Rocco Onpanich just kind of happened because multiple ideas were in the right place at the right time. That penis has been forever attributed to that man himself, the I drew it guy. And he has since, although behind his back, been referred to lovingly by all of us in all of his recent exploits as the penis professor.
It's another penile secretion thing where you'll mention his name and then you'll be like, penis professor.
The penis professor, yeah, it's the same joke with a different coat of paint. Another one of my favorites of his, there were some hooligans in the communal space who basically smashed up a lot of sewing machines during one of the most critical sewing parts of the entire year. And so there was a line that you had to wait in to sew your shit, and there was like 2 machines for 90 people, and so I was there till like 9 p.m. and I missed a whole committee meeting and everything. It was awful. Apparently, penis professor's like, oh, I have extra machines in my office, I'll get them. So, no, yeah, he said he would get them in his possession as soon as he could. I just can't believe the fact that, like, in the fucking room across from the sewing lab, his office, there were a dozen sewing machines ready to go. He unlocked the door and then proceeded not to go in.
What?
And then the next day, they were all set up.
The common thing I've noticed with all the stories involving him is that there'll be a major problem. He swoops in, he's like, what problem?
But he, like, worked for 2 hours and then left. At any time, he could have even asked us to help bring him in and we would have been fucking elated to. God! And this last one, I asked him about homework for a class he was teaching, and I said, like, so here's my understanding of the assignment. We do a bunch of sketch work, scan it, and then we submit it as a PDF. So, right, 3 steps. Sketch it, scan it, PDF, upload. So I guess 4 steps. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, is that correct? And he responds, you're correct until the sketching part. Now, I think that speaks for itself, but frankly. Oh, God. It doesn't mean it to be, but God, that's one of the most insulting things that's ever been said to me. I could be more passive-aggressive if I tried.
I feel like all of your stories, Aidan, I had no idea what the fuck they were.
As far as, like, group gags go, Penis Professor is maybe my favorite.
Yeah, because it's so abstract and wrapped in so much nuance. It's, like, unbelievable.
And it's based on real-life events. Like, it's not even...
Yeah, it's based on canon events.
There's not much fantasy.
So many loose threads that came together in a beautiful little knot. This came to a second head when we made it our mission to make every major location our group has ever had recreate it in Super Smash Bros. As a level, right? Mm-hmm. We recreated him and his roommate's room, Nate and Tristan. So for Tristan's half of the room, we just put a giant spinning Dark Souls sword. Tristan's the Dark Souls guy. And for Nate, we were really racking our brains. Like, what is emblematic of Nate as a person? Like, what really screams Nathaniel, if nothing else? That penis falling on your bed. If you want, you can play our copy of Smash, and his penis can kill you.
We're probably stretching pretty far now.
Yeah, we've been at this for a long fucking time.
So, fuck it. Clear the fucking table. It's time for me to elect a winner. You both have told some riveting fucking stories, many adventures today,
I don't know about that.
all of which were worthwhile.
I believe that.
All of them were beautiful, life-changing stories.
One of them was.
I would not give up this meeting for the birth of my son.
We can go for another hour unless Aidan wants to die.
No, please, we should stop.
Okay, we should.
For this unnamed individual's rigorous storytelling, his beautiful jawline, and his diligence, which may or may not be due.
You fucking just say a name, you fucking ass.
Driving me up a wall.
Yeah,
right now.
And you win.
I win?
Oh, nice.
What? I thought you were gonna break Carter's streak.
You both told pretty good stories, and you won both Mad Gaps.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That is. You said it didn't matter though, but I guess. All right, I'll figure something out. God, I'm running out of ideas.
Also,
Carter,
story-
you gotta win.
I've been trying, man.
Jesus.
You guys are just not giving it to me. As soon as I made up the point that I've been trying to make you guys give it to me, I haven't won since.
I know.
I've told you guys my secrets, and then I can't win anymore.
This is episode 28. The last time you single hosted was 20.
Yeah,
I don't consider the one a triple host a win, so this is your 7th loss in a row.
yeah, this is fun, dude.
And we still haven't caught up to your total either, which is the crazy part.
McFuck it. Let's get to the chicken,
Oh yeah, we got some
chicken nugget.
We got more
Chicken
shit to
nugget.
do.
We're a little bit past Halloween as we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on a horror binge a little while ago.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. It just happened.
Yeah.
Jeez.
We watched together a good 5, 6 movies.
5. I saw 9, but not with the rest of the guys.
Some were good, some were shockingly bad.
Yeah, really.
The one I'll go ahead and recommend is The Thing. So it's
John
yeah.
Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, highly revered horror flick. Lots of very effective body horror.
All practical, too.
Yeah, apparently not well liked when it first came out, which surprised me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of thing where it's like, it's disgusting, but you can't look away because there's so much going on. The overarching plot is, it's alright. It kind of takes a backseat to the body horror.
It's a shape-shifting alien, which if it touches organic matter, it can copy it perfectly without any tells.
I think Among Us takes inspiration from it, if you want a contemporary example.
God.
Good film. Don't watch Jaws. Jaws fucking sucks.
Yeah, don't watch Terminator either.
That's my recommendation. The Thing's pretty good.
All right, Carter, go.
So I guess what I'm going to be talking about is Mario Bros. Wonder. It was pretty good. It's a very short game, but every single level is very different. Nate and I played it. We had a fun time with it. I think it would be really hard as a single-player game.
There's some very technical levels in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but when you die in Wonder, instead of like being off screen for a while and then bubbling like in the new Soup games, you just like instantly become a ghost, and then you can just like instantly get to the other person. As soon as you touch them, you're back. Probably kind of diminish the challenge aspect, but
The music levels were nice. I'm trying to be careful at what I say because I know that Aidan wants to play this game as well. The final level was actually kind of challenging. It took us like, 20 minutes, 30 minutes to do?
I wasn't keeping score.
I wasn't keeping score either. What did I rate it? It was like a B minus, C plus. It's an okay game.
Oh, I don't think it's that bad.
You gave the DS one an A-, which means that this game must be like turbo ass.
I wouldn't put it in like the A range either, but it is not that much worse than New Soup DS. Like,
I suppose, yeah.
speaking candidly, I don't think any of the 2D Marios are that good. I understand why they were considered good, but they've been outdone nowadays.
Yeah, they're very by the book.
I think Wonder's like the best among them.
Speaking about that horror movie binge that Nate and I were talking about, well, I guess it's the best thing I saw. I've seen it before, but I watched it again recently, and it still fucking works. I would still consider Hereditary to be the scariest film I've ever seen in my life. A lot of you have probably heard of it or seen it. It's a family story, and everything goes swimmingly, and nothing bad happens, and you should watch it with the whole family.
Yeah, good wholesome fun.
Yeah,
Watch it before you play Super Mario Bros. Wonder
yeah.
for optimal wholesome experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that movie, Jesus Christ. It's not just like jumpy horror, it's the kind of horror that makes you really think like gross in an emotional sense.
Yeah, that shit affected me very deeply.
It's terrifying in a way where like, I look at where these characters end up and the kind of things that they think about each other are disgusting in this movie, and yet you can't help but understand why they feel that way.
It's horrifyingly real.
Mm-hmm.
These are things that are probably going on somewhere right now.
Yeah, I will just say you'll have to keep your mind open for the ending, because it doesn't go in a direction that really makes sense based on the preceding hour 30. Let it kind of get weird. There's a lot to pick apart in terms of like theory fodder and all that. Yeah, that's one that'll affect you long after the credits roll.
I was thinking about recommending it myself, but that's not something you can just turn on.
All right, let's get out of here.
Let's end it. This has been Spicy Chicken Sammich. Thanks for coming back, unless you were here for the first time for some reason. Thanks for listening.
I guess I'll host again. My idea doc is running very low, but hopefully I can pick a game that will result in an outcome that will cause good things. And I think you know what I'm getting at, despite the fact that you can't see my wild gesturing if you're a listener.
We're gonna get the hell out of here.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. 3 weeks from now, it should be the last episode for the new year. So, have a good one.
Goodbye, guys.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Guten Tag. Reverse.
Guten Tag reverse. Shut up.
Oh, wow, didn't see you there. Sorry. Hey.
Ow! Hi, Aidan. What are you doing here?
Oh, nothing. Just subscribing to Spicy Chicken Sandwich on every platform it's available on.
What? I thought it was only on YouTube.
No, it's on so many platforms. Spotify, Google, Apple, Podcast, and many more.
What about Google Plus?
No.
No!
Hi, Nate. How are you doing?
Oh my god, what's up?
Did you know there's a new episode every other week?
What?
I know!
Holy fuck!
I only date girls who are subscribed on YouTube and Spotify. I can probably cut that into something.
Okay.